Hello.
The Stagecoach Inn. Please come in
Thank
and
you.
sign in. You'll get a tour of the inside, upstairs, downstairs, and then there's lots of things on the grounds that you may also come and see. And there's docents in many places to
Oh,
tell
okay.
you the stories.
Okay. Thank you.
Come, come right in.
All right. Thank you.
We have one more coming in. Sorry. There you go. There in the museum. It was at one time called the Grand Union Hotel because it was built about 25, 30 years after the Civil War. And after the Civil War, lots of things were called the Grand this or the Union this because who won the Civil War? The Union side, so everybody wanted to use the name Union and Grand Union. So when the people who first decided to build this, they said, okay, we're naming this the Grand Union Hotel. There's lots of information. I'll try to gear it a little more to him so he'll see some fun stuff and remember things. So a lobby, you'd come in and you'd give the proprietor some money. She'd ask you if you wanted a room for the night, and you'd tell her, yes, I'd like a room, and she'd say, do you have to have clean sheets? Today is Saturday, and ordinarily we do the laundry only on Mondays. This was a typical thing. We'll have to see how many sheets we have that are clean. If we have to have clean sheets, then you'll have to pay a little extra. And then would you like to eat with us also? Because the meals are a little extra too. So she'd give you a bill, maybe $1. And you'd give her some money, or him, could be a meal. And the first thing he would do would be come to his cash register. Pardon me. And cash registers in those days had a marble top, specifically for a reason of checking your money. So if you hand me some money, I will go, oh, sir, I can't take wooden nickels. This is an old saying in America. Don't give me a wooden nickel. They'd say, give me something else. They'd click your money on the cold marble, and you could tell the difference right away. Come feel how cold this is. See this little piece right here? Feel, put your hand on there. Chilly? A little bit cold, yeah? And then they would put your money in, and we'd have a working cash register that you get to hear the sound of it. It would open the drawer, of course, and you put your money in and give the person back their change. And they'd tell you which room to go to and show you around. So let me take you into some of the rooms around the museum. Floor plan of the museum initially.
No problem.
Looked like this. A little different from the way, because there's been a fire and we had to rebuild. But something like 13 rooms, tiny little rooms, a kitchen, a parlor, dining room, some storage. We tried to build it back after it burned down to as close to the original look, so you can see what an old-fashioned hotel would have looked like. Fun things in here are, the hotel was built by a man named James Hamill. The names don't matter much, but he wanted to make money. It was right in this general area by where the freeway is. The crisscross of the freeway here at Ventura and the freeway is where he started. And he built the hotel. This is what it looked like in 1892. Who's calling me? Oh, not for me. Okay. So here's what it looked like in 1892. Pretty much what you see now. Same thing. Porch. We put in 2 double doors later. And you're maybe too young, but there's a fence here. And there's no road here, really. They didn't have cars. How did they get around in those days? Horses. This is a hitching post. They did not have indoor plumbing. This is a outhouse for these many rooms in here. So the first people that really came into the area then and bought the building were Mr. and that Mr. and Mrs. Newbury lived in the area. They didn't buy the buildings. Oh, I have some more guests.
I personally request, Frank is looking to volunteer on our property.
Okay.
He came here a couple of weeks ago and was asked to come back and shadow.
Take a tour.
So can you add him to your group?
Certainly, certainly. Welcome. Thank you very much. So Mr. and Mrs. Newbury came into the area in 1874 and built a little house down by where the Civic Arts Plaza is. And Jungle Land came after them, and so it became kind of a famous area, the whole thing. But Mrs. Newbury was a painter, and we've got her name from Mrs. Newbury, but this is a original painting of their home. Now, you'll see a replica of it down the property here that shows a little pioneer house. And Mr. Newbury wrote for the newspaper in Ventura. To get to Ventura from up here, this was on the Conejo, as you come up from one side and come up from the other side, and you're sitting up here a little higher. But his newspaper was way down in Ventura. To get there, he had 45 switchbacks. You know how you go down the grade now, and it's just a little like this. It was this way. It took a day to get down the hill to begin with. So he wrote to the newspaper, wrote to the government, said, can we have a mail stop up here? And the mail stop he was allowed to do, and they named it Newbury Park Mail Stop, is this little tent. So this picture came from way back in 1875, 76, something like that. It shows their little post office tent. So they're famous in our area. Come into what an old hotel would look like. This is a picture. Have you been to a hotel before? They look like flowers. It's different from this. This is